Hey ladies, and welcome back to Ladies Lounge. I'm really excited to be doing our third and final part of our marriage series. Thank you so much to those of you who watched the last two videos, for your comments, for your feedback, for your suggestions, and just to know that these videos are helpful and have been able to help open up your minds a bit more concerning the topic of marriage. Just to say, as I always will, that these are just my personal opinions, just my personal thoughts, experiences, and ideas that I hold really. So feel free to take from them what you will, and feel free to disagree with me at parts. I don't expect you to agree with me all the time. Now, I'm really excited to be sharing this topic, considering that I've recently been married, so it's still fresh, it's still new, it's still at the forefront of my mind. But actually, most of these I've come to know either before planning my wedding or after planning my wedding. I didn't have many issues while planning my wedding, but I had some. So I hope these will be really helpful and good for you. So my wedding, without sounding like I'm bragging or anything like that, but it was amazing because our bridal party were amazing. The bridesmaids were just awesome and willing to help, willing to do what they could, willing to negotiate prices for us, willing to go to meetings and trials and taster sessions with us, and they were just amazing. And even on the day of the wedding, they were so awesome in that they were able to deflect some stressful kind of situations from happening because things didn't go to plan, or things didn't work out the way that they should. We didn't find out that things didn't work out till like months after the wedding because the bridal party was just amazing. And so I've decided that I'll start with the don'ts, get the negative out of the way, and end the video with kind of the do's and the positives while planning your wedding. Don'ts. Don't, where possible, don't tell the retailers or merchants that this is for a wedding. Because we found that as soon as we mentioned that we were kind of requesting prices for a wedding, that prices were hitched up so ridiculously that it still baffles us even unto this day. But I think I kind of understand it a little bit more because obviously a wedding is a once-in-a-lifetime thing, and companies and retail firms want to make sure that it's the best for you, so they charge slightly more so that nothing bad happens and that sort of stuff. But actually some of the prices are slightly ridiculous. For example, we'd seen a lovely venue, a lovely golf course venue. It was beautiful, the countryside was amazing, the views were just beautiful. So initially I had asked, for quotes for an event, a special occasion, and was quoted kind of between £600 and £800 just to hire out the venue, just to hire out the room, and then obviously we'd have to pay a bit more for the crockery, for the cutlery, and that sort of stuff. And we were going to get our own catering anyway, so that was fine. And then as soon as they found out that it was a wedding, the price literally shot up to like £5,000. £5,000. From like £600 to £800 to £5,000. And fair enough, they included in that package kind of a wedding breakfast meal for like up to 40 people, which was just not enough, but it was better than nothing. And then reception kind of finger foods, like serious finger foods, like cocktail sausages, mini sausage rolls, and that sort of stuff. And we were like, for £5,000, and that's all you can give us? And obviously like crockery and cutlery and that sort of stuff was included, but it just didn't make sense for it to be like £5,000 from when it was like up to £800 as just a special occasion. So do where possible, where possible, don't tell the retailers or merchants that it's for a wedding. Number 2, don't feel pressured to invite people. Sometimes our parents can be a bit challenging because they'll be like, oh, can we invite your first ever nanny who babysat you when you were between 1 and 2? And you're like, I don't know them. I haven't seen them for like over 20 years. Why do I still have to invite them? Oh, can we invite, your friend's mom who lived down the road between such and such years, and they haven't spoken to me in over decades of years. So don't feel pressured to invite people just because. Try and your biggest kind of challenges will be your parents. So be ready for that. But try and kind of talk to them with respect and kindly, and just kind of get them to see that actually per head it's really expensive to invite people to the whole wedding, because it is quite ridiculous really. So don't feel pressured to invite people or to invite everyone. Number 3, don't give your bridal party too much power and autonomy when planning your wedding. Because what you'll find is that it will cause conflicts, it will cause issues, because you'll find that some people have kind of stronger personalities than others, and people will want their ideas to be heard and want their contribution to be heard, and then you'll end up kind of being more stressful because that's not what you wanted and that sort of stuff. So if possible, obviously, unless your bridal party all know you like completely well, or know exactly what you want, how you want it, and that sort of stuff, then fine, feel free to let them help out and contribute as much as they can. Number 4, don't do it all by yourself. It's very easy, and I totally understand, it's your day, it's my day. I want to do everything. I want to find out about everything. I want to call up everyone. I want to negotiate. I want to get prices for stuff. But don't do it all by yourself. Where possible, delegate. It's okay for people to help out. And actually what you'll find is that people are more willing to help out in like serving or stewarding or anything like that on your wedding day. So, don't do it all by yourself. You will just kill yourself. It will just be too stressful. And the last don't give your families, I know this is similar to bridesmaid, don't give your families too much power and autonomy. And actually this one is slightly more difficult, because you'll find that family members will want to contribute financially, will want to support and help you financially, and there then becomes a kind of a sense of entitlement that because they've contributed, they then have the right to plan the wedding with you. And actually what Bo and I decided was that we'd rather not have the financial contribution, as amazing and as helpful as it is, for people to bless you with money and that sort of stuff. We'd rather not have that if people don't understand that yes, we're grateful, and yes, it's amazing that they're willing to give us this money, but actually it's still our day, it's still what we would like, and it still should be how we'd like it to be. So don't let people pressurize you into letting them plan your wedding just because they've contributed financially. So I'm going to move on to some of the do's. I'm going to start off with one that I really think is important. Do include your fiance in planning. And this one is very easy to overlook. It's very easy to ignore your fiance, your soon-to-be husband, because he may not understand, he may not kind of contribute or think the way that you do. But please include your fiance, because ultimately the day is for you and him. It's your day collectively. You're not getting married to yourself, you're getting married to your husband. Your husband is getting married to you. It's a two-way thing. It's two people. So please don't exclude him. Do involve your fiance. And because he's a man, and my husband said I should say this, so I'm not being mean to all the guys out there, but because he's a man, be patient with him. Just because he may not seem to be as excited as you are about something doesn't mean he doesn't want to. Be patient with him. Keep trying to involve him. Keep trying to get his ideas. Keep trying to get a sense of what he would like for the day. Do number 2. Do choose your maid of honor very wisely. I think it's really important to have someone who is committed, trustworthy, and most of all, assertive. And I say assertive because your maid of honor needs to be someone who's able to kind of lead and direct the bridal party or your bridesmaids. They need to be able to diffuse and deflect kind of stressful and negative situations. They need to be able to communicate to the bridal party, and actually they need to be able to ensure that things on the actual day don't come to you and your husband. They need to collectively with the grooms, with the best man, they need to be able to be assertive and kind of take up the role of leading and managing. And I know this is probably different for different cultures and for different people, but where possible, try and get a maid of honor that is assertive. But obviously not a party pooper, not someone who's always serious and doesn't know how to have fun, but they need to be able to kind of lead and manage a team. It's basically a little project that they'll be managing. Do number 3, do choose your bridesmaids wisely. I know a friend of mine shared with me that her friend who got married a few years ago decided to ask her best friend to be part of her bridal party, and they butted heads so much, they didn't get on. It just was a bit crazy that actually by the time the wedding ended, their friendship had broken apart, had fallen apart, and since the day she got married, they've never spoken. So weddings are very stressful, but you need to know that you've got people in your corner, people who are going to support you and just, you know, be there for you. Obviously, they still need to be able to correct you where correction is needed, but you don't need stress from people who are meant to be in your bridal party. Do number 4, do negotiate prices, but actually do be willing to compromise, especially if you're working with a budget. There's no point kind of trying to break your arm and your leg, trying to get the horse and the carriage and all these things. Not to say that those things are not good for a wedding, but if it's gonna leave you in debt by the time you get married, then I would kind of think twice about it, because you don't want to start your marriage in debt and be paying off your wedding 10, 15, 20 years later. Where possible, do it within your budget, do it within what you're able to do it in. So do negotiate and be willing to compromise. And compromising doesn't mean that you'll get a cheap, dingy, kind of not fancy looking wedding. It just means that you just have to compromise on some of the other things. You'll find that you can find most of the things that you want cheaper if you're willing to just compromise a little bit. And I say that because typically we're told that weddings cost anything between 10 and 15,000. Now, Bo and I were not willing to be spending tens and tens of thousands of money to plan a wedding and to get married. For us, our marriage was much more important. And not to knock anyone who does or has spent 10, 15,000 pounds. Ratings to you, amazing that you could save up that sort of money or were able to get that sort of money, amazing. But we just didn't have that sort of money. And so our wedding, and we thought our wedding was beautiful, we thought it was amazing. So many people helped, so many people contributed, which was totally amazing. We're still eternally grateful to God for that. Our wedding cost us just under £6,000, and we thought it was amazing. We had so much fun, we had such a great day, and to us it looked beautiful. So it's possible to plan a wedding that won't break your back and your budget. Excuse me. And I think that rounds up our do's and our don'ts while planning a wedding. I really hope these have been helpful and will get you to think a bit more. But I'm really looking forward to your feedback and your thoughts and your ideas. And this rounds up our 3-part series on marriage, and I hope you really enjoyed it. And so until next time, have a great week.